If I said to you 3D, 4D, or 5D, do you know what that means? And where do you stand? Hi, this is Dr. Anita with another diamond moment. The diamonds of our lives are produced through time, heat, and pressure. But it's up to you to gather the value from these experiences in order to grow in your life. If these messages have enlightened or helped you in any way, please like, subscribe, and share. Today we're going to be talking about dimensions. And if you don't understand what that is or what that means, then this is the show for you. We're going to be talking about perspectives, the way we view life, where we are in life, what is important to us, and how we move forward into having what we want to have in this life. As I said, we're talking about dimensions of life. The 3D or third dimension of life on this earth is linear. It goes in a line. It has a linear space and a linear time. It's able to be summed up with birth, life, and death. It is our consciousness, who we are born as. It takes into consideration all of the things that we have talked about on a diamond moment up to this point. It talks about the limitations that we've had, our life's experiences, what took place, what kind of childhood we had, who our parents were. But it also moves forward in realizing that the life that we spend on this earth has more than one dimension to it. We can look at things in terms of that natural life, the body, the clothes we wear, the fashion, the cars we drive, the house we live in. And we can also look at life through spiritual eyes, the fact that we are spiritual beings, that the one thing that we have in common is that we are all spiritual beings. And so when we're looking at the various dimensions of life, we're looking at the experience that a human being can have living in this life. There is a school of thought that says that by the time we're born, we have forgotten what our purpose is, why we came here. And if you remember, a large part of what we talked about initially on A Diamond Moment was finding out your destiny. So many people are confused. Why am I here? What was I born to do? And that school of thought that says that at one point you made a contract. You decided, I'm going to come to this earth school in order to learn these lessons. And in so doing, there are people who entered your life to play a role in the formation of who you are or who you were to become. And in that, you move along your linear life, birth, life, and death. You move along that line as you discover the aspects of yourself that you were born to bring into reality. Now, it could be that you were just changing things within yourself only. Some people were designed, I believe, to make a major change in the world as we know it. We see regular human beings like Martin Luther King Jr. or Mother Teresa or others that their lives changed the life of others, possibly even changed the trajectory of history because they were here. And it includes people that we look at with disdain, like Hitler. So when we're looking at a 3D a three-dimensional life here on earth, we see that there are many purposes that we may have come here to fulfill. Jesus says the same thing. He said that I came here in this world at this time to fulfill a particular purpose. And that purpose was to set a group of people free. And it may anger some, but he was not sent to Christians. That did not exist. And if you really think about what Jesus said, he told at one setting, a lady came. She wanted healing, and when she asked Jesus to be healed, for him to heal her, he told her he didn't come for her. He wasn't there for her. And she said, even the dogs eat crumbs from the master's table. And he said, okay, because of your faith, be it unto you. Jesus didn't come for that Gentile woman. He came for the Jews. He came specifically, according to his words, to set them free from a God that had held them. We've talked about this before, that I believe with all my heart that Jesus was a part of the Essene sect, and that would explain why the Pharisees, who were Jews, were so against the message that Jesus brought as an Essene, because he brought the message of a God of love. He brought a message that they did not want to receive. So he tells the reason that he left the spiritual realm to come to this realm. And in the same way, as individuals, we have determined the reason that we left from the spiritual realm to come to this three-dimensional world in order to fulfill our soul's contract or our soul's desire. The 3D world, again, is linear. It runs on a straight course. Birth, life, death, and within a specific time. Now, if we are spiritual beings, there is no time limit on a spiritual being. They always are. They always have been. They always will be. So we're not looking at the three-dimensional world in terms of being unlimited, except for the fact that we are spiritual beings, and spiritual beings never stop being. In a 3D world, we experience a duality. That means two sides of a coin. We experience that like or dislike, fear versus love. We see ourselves as separate from other people. We have that us versus them. And you see that, I believe, very much in what we are seeing right now within the United States. That as our world is changing dimensions from the third dimension, going up higher into a spiritual world of the fourth dimension, and then into the fifth dimension, that much of what we see in terms of the fear of scarcity and lack, the anger, the separation that we're seeing within the society, or people deciding that everything was okay until you came along, and now that you're here, it's not okay, I'm not all right. That consistent looking for someone to blame is definitely a symptom of the 3D. It is us versus them. It is if I am right, then you are wrong. And when we're looking at a 3D, we're never living in the now. We're always living in the past, or we're living in the future. We're never living in the now. Our thoughts and our emotions are used to define who we are and to give ourselves meaning. The way that we think, the words that we use, the way that we look at ourselves are all designed from a linear perspective to give ourselves meaning. We're attached to the material world and the physical aspects of this life. Now, I do understand that as spiritual beings, we are confined to a physical body. And as such, being able to take care of your physical body, as we've said before, is important. If you're too sick to fulfill your destiny, who will do it? If you have not taken care of yourself to the degree that you have some type of longevity, you may not live to the point of that opening presenting itself to you, that opportunity presenting itself to you so that you can fulfill your destiny. So the way that we live in this 3D world is important, but we are spiritual beings, and therefore our primary focus is from a spiritual perspective. When we look at what's taking place in the world around us, and it's a part of that 3D existence is, the news and the things that go on, the politics, the social injustice, all of the things that we see around us. We also have to understand that part of what we're seeing are people caught up in a 3D mindset that if you have something, there won't be enough for me. If you get it, I won't have it. A lot of times people will kind of joke about what took place at the beginning of the pandemic when all the toilet paper was bought and people were having to come to the store at a particular time in order to get what they need. And it's because segments of the population, and I would say those that are really concentrating on a 3D perspective of lack of us against them, had purchased all of the toilet paper. So for some, there was a glut, and for others, it was a complete famine. That is a symptom of the 3D. When we look at those that call themselves MAGA, and they believe that the reason that I don't have a job is you, and it's you that's causing the problems in my life. So therefore, if I get rid of you, then those problems will dissipate. And I would offer to you that that's not the case. That we live in a three-dimensional world in which scarcity and lack is a driving force for the way that we treat others. That duality, that us against them, is a component in why people treat others the way they do. The idea is to move from this perspective to a higher perspective. As they say, to raise your vibration, to come up from where you are and to view things differently, and to understand that everything that you need, you already have. When Jesus said, people are saying the kingdom of God is over here, is over there, and he said, don't look over there. The kingdom of God is within. We have to look within ourselves in order to determine what we want for our lives. Nothing that you need will be held back from you, but it is your job, as we've said, to utilize the information that you have in order to become all that you desire to be. I hope that this message has been a benefit to you. If it has, please like, subscribe, and comment, and share with someone. Also, if you haven't done so, visit my website at www.DrAnitaMc.com. That's DrAnitaMc.com. Join me on NoomVibe and on FanBase. And don't forget your Diamond Journey Journal, Becoming is a Process, by me, Dr. Anita McLaughlin.